In this lecture, we will test the components we added to the car 2 lectures back, and the code we wrote in the last lecture by taking the car for a spin around a sample track. First, we're going to select the car in the sample scene. We will go to Add Component, Scripts, and choose the car controller script that we created in the last lecture. In the inspector, we will set the size of the axle infos list to 2. Then we will drag in the front left and front right wheels into the respective slots here. Then we will toggle on the motor and steering checkboxes. After that, we will drag in the rear left and rear right wheels into the respective slots. We will give the max motor torque a value of 500, the max steering angle a value of 70, and give our car an acceleration of 5. Next, we need a sample track that we can drop our car into so that we can drive it around to make sure everything that we have done up until this point in the course works. Luckily for us, we downloaded a low poly street pack earlier in this course. We will go into the low poly street pack folder, then into prefabs, roads, bridges, and elements folders, where we will finally see the modular racetrack components. We can drag in one of the straight bridges into the scene. Then we will be sure to position the car over it, touching the pavement. Finally, we will click the play button. We can use the arrow keys to move and steer the car. The forward and back arrow keys will accelerate the car in those respective directions, and the left and right arrow keys will steer the car. Great job so far. We now have a car that we can drive using the code that we wrote. Let's click the play button again to exit play mode. Then we will go into our cars folder. Now that we have a fully working car 1, we can delete the car 1 object in the cars folder, and click and drag the car 1 object from our scene hierarchy into the folder. In the next lecture, we will look at a recap of what we learned in this section of the course.